When we think about the ghetto, the term is associated with black people. I think when our people today hear that term, they associate it with being poor, being uneducated, not really fitting in with what society is saying, how we should fit in. We should have a better understanding of what the ghetto is, where that term comes from, how was it formed, what is our position in the world, and who has put us in this position. Just a little bit of background, understanding that the city was created for those who were poor, and it was for all those who were poor, even white people. So white people were poor, and then black people would come into the areas. They needed to separate us from them. The inner city was created. They needed us to be in an area where we're all together. And in this area, they didn't care about us. They didn't care about the living conditions. They didn't care about our health. They didn't care anything about us. So this area was created so that we can live amongst ourselves. And then they live outside of that area, which is called the suburbs. The interesting thing, we associated that word with something negative. And it's commonly used by everyone, even those who don't know our experience. Sometimes I even hear, I would hear the word from people, in a tone like, you're acting so ghetto. And then I'll look around like, who is saying that? Just the tone that they're using. And they use this term as if it's okay to use, and they're using that as if it's somebody like their friend. Then they say it to somebody black, they'll say it to somebody white, and they use this term as if it's okay to use. And they're using it in a way that it's something negative. Like you don't have class and you don't know how to act. It's a common term. But this is what I want us to understand. Let's not look at that as something that's negative. We need to look at ourselves and understand who we are. Let us understand that everything that we are and everything that we do, just look at those same people that look down on us. You see them doing the same, looking at us and doing the same things that we do.
Even delicate little daughters of it feel this thing, bodies trailing. From morning, it seems like if it's no one exempt from this thing. Even kindly matriarchy, girl, I wanna feel this thing. Everyone up in this thing. Hey, David had occasion to chat against a boy with a stone and a sling. Hey, he was the keeper of the animal. It was not war that he wanted. It was not fight that he was looking high. Hey, from morning, from early morning, hey, wake up hopeful and happy and enthusiastic about this thing. Police trailing, trying to put a damper on my praise heartstring. Yeah, Rastafari, I must compel. Rastafari has internal well. From morning, hey, from morning.
We are a people we're amazing. We're very creative. We have things about us that people look at us and they just admire. They may not say anything, but you can see it all over the world. You get rock and roll. Rock and roll was started by us. Just the soul, just hearing the music as we move our bodies to the beat. And then you see other people trying to mimic that and try and get in tune to that same beat. Some of these people can't even find the beat, and their bodies move in some kind of mystical, weird way because they can't even find the beat. But yet they still want to listen to our music. They love our music. They want to do our music, but yet they want to say, it's the ghetto. We're the lowest point. So let us not look at that term. Let us not use that word in a way where it's negative. let's embrace it, because that's who we are. You know, I think it's not just an area. You know, when you say ghetto, it's not just the area. It's who you are. It's what's within you. It's what's inside of you. It's your soul. It's who you are. A lot of people, you know, they look, especially the image that they show us on TV around the world. They make us look as if we're just these poor people, and you know, I feel so sorry for them. But I'm proud to be where I'm at. I'm proud to be amongst a lively, colorful people, exciting. And when I walk on my door, I'm amongst those who share the same vision as I do. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think they really hype up, we got it so bad and we don't want to be here, but most of the people that I meet are fine. Yes, let us just understand that we have struggles. The people who are using this term in a way to look down on us, they have struggles. But I really want us to really start listening to people when they're using some terms. Sometimes people use terms and we just let it just roll over our heads like and accept it as if it's okay for these people to use these terms. But besides that though, you know, if I say the word ghetto, it means something totally different because it's coming from my heart. It's coming from my soul. It's who I am. But if I hear someone else saying, you know, you're acting, you know, this here is ghetto. And this person knows nothing about the inner city. They know nothing about how we live. And I know when they're saying it, it's coming from a negative place. They're looking down on me. So I think we need to really understand that. Because sometimes I know we like to, you know, be multicultural, right? And when you do that, you're coming from different cultures. And so sometimes they may feel it's okay to say certain things, not really understanding what they're talking about.
Over my shoulder, this thing from morning. Hey, on the highways about this thing. Down in the water by the byways about this thing from morning. Who shall attend to the sick? Hey, from morning. Who is about this thing? From morning. It should be up full of thanks and rewarding. Holding the strings together communal. Holding the people together internal. Oh, law lessons. Yeah. Dietary law lessons. Yeah. Law lessons. From morning. From morning. Babylon, you feel no it have Rasta man about this thing. Identification of earth, the liquor store, David Slinger. From morning. Hey, hey, well even delicate little woman have to feel this tension in the morning. From morning. From morning, yeah. When the freshness of earth is bursting, when the gold of the earth is blooming, when the purple in the earth is shining, when the iodine in the plants are from morning, even delicate little daughters of the feel this thing, bodies trailing. From morning, it seems like if it's no one exempt from this thing, even kindly matriarchal, I wanna feel this thing. Everyone up in this thing, hey. David had occasion to chat against a boy with a stone and a sling. Hey, he was the keeper of the animal. It was not war that he wanted. It was not fight that he was looking at. Hey, from morning, from early morning, yeah. Wake up hopeful and happy and enthusiastic about this thing.
I think sometimes we need to, if you want to be multicultural, that's fine. But let's make sure that we make that person understand. Get them some understanding of what they're saying, so when they decide to say it, Maybe they can think twice about it, but if they choose to say it, at least they know in which context they're saying it. I think when they say ghetto, I think they mean, yes, being loud, distasteful, using things that aren't quality. So who is it? Let's keep that in mind too. Yeah. Who has put these rules and regulations? What is ghetto? What is right? What is wrong? What is proper? Who has done this? We need to really look within ourselves. Once again, I'm always saying we look within ourselves to understand, the world around us, the people around us, the things that we see. We get that understanding from within ourselves. So we need to understand that some of these rules, some of these things were put in place not for us, they're for them. Let's understand that when someone has put up these rules and regulations for themselves, these people, when they say you have to talk this way in order to be accepted, you have to use this fork and this spoon and this knife in order to be civil. Yeah. Why is it that they had to bring those rules and regulations up? This is not our rules and regulations. Where did they come from? Where did they come from that they had to figure out what is it that we need to do to elevate ourselves? Where is our history? Where does our history come from? What happened in our history with our ancestors? What happened with them that we need to change and have some kind of rules and regulations so that we can look civilized amongst everyone else? And once they have all these, they polish themselves up, make sure everything is all white, pure and clean, And when I say white, pure and clean, I mean, literally, just think about where all this comes from. It's not our nature, it's not who we are. When we see and we hear these things and we're taught in a way where it says, okay, look, in order to be civilized, they get us to try and get us not to embrace who we are. Mm-hmm. Yes, we're loud and we're full of energy. That's who we are as a people. Mm-hmm. If we're, if our voice is not at a certain tone or level, quiet your voice. You have to be this way in order to be accepted in society. If we're not this way, then we're not accepted. I want to speak up, because I'm boisterous and I want to use my hands to explain what I'm talking about. I'm not accepted. Someone feels I gotta calm down and I'm just expressing who I am. Don't be afraid to express who you are because society says that it's not civilized. Let's understand what civilized really is and what civilized is for someone else. I think because of the way the term is being used, it separates us. It's another form of separating us and us not being able to build as a community. Because when you hear this term, they make it sound as if it's something that you need to get out of, something that you need to separate yourself from. And then now you get people that live in the city and they feel that they're better than the person that's next to them. They live down 2 streets down from someone, and they feel because they live on the good end that they're better than the person that lives on the side that's on the bad end. Understand that the person on the same street as you is your brother, is family. Because this image, because of what they say, how we need to look, how we need to dress, how we need to be. If you don't own your own house and your own car, and your area outside of your house is not kept in a way where your grass looks unnatural, where you can get those people to come out and put all those chemicals on your grass, and you got that offense and your dog, if you don't live a lifestyle that's similar to theirs, then you're ghetto. Let us just think outside the box here. Let's put our guard down a bit. Let's just look, deeper within ourselves to understand who we are as a people and embrace it, because you're really missing out. You're missing out on who you are. You're missing out on the beautiful people. You're missing out on a lot of things because you're struggling so hard trying to be something that you are not supposed to be.
Even delicate little daughters of the feel this thing, bodies trailing. From morning, it seems like if it's no one exempt from this thing. Even kindly matriarchy, girl, I wanna feel this thing. Everyone up in this thing. Hey, David had occasion to chat against a boy with a stone and a sling. Hey, he was the keeper of the animal. It was not war that he wanted. It was not fight that he was looking. Hey, from morning, from early morning. Hey, wake up hopeful and happy and enthusiastic about this thing. Police trailing, trying to put a damper on my bass heartstring. Yeah, Rastafari, I must compel. Rastafari has internal well from morning. Hey, hey, from morning. When Rasta tried out to do this thing, just to sing a highly praises to the king. Hey, Babylon training from morning. Hey, tension about this thing. Even delicate little woman of a feel this thing. It's like if no one is exempt from this thing. From morning. Hey, but shout out with a stone and a sling. Just a humble word without triviality. We are talk to the serious outbursts in the spring. Hey, hey. In the Nile Valley there was a rupture in the earth, them say. Rupture the floor of the Sahara. Yeah. Leak out the water, was lava, was magna. When you're out of them, I come out, magna come lava. Yeah. Oh. From morning. Over man's shoulder, this thing. From morning. Hey. On the highways about this thing. Down in the water by the byways about this thing. From morning. Who shall attend to the sick? Hey. From morning. Who is about this thing?
And I think that's what a lot of people miss out on. They're trying to be something that they're not supposed to be. And then they feel, you know, I made it, oh yes. You know, they're looking around at what they've accomplished and it's like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is who I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
But if you really think about it, some people may not care about this. They may think they don't, you know, because they're thinking, okay, I have my money. They're going down their checklist of things that society says they should have. I got my money, check. I got my house, check. I got my wife, check. I got my cars. I got my shades. I got all these things. My big screen TV. I'm on the good side of the street. Got all these things. I'm living the life.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And none of that stuff has nothing to do with who you really are. Because if you was to strip all of that stuff down, take all that stuff away from you, and then you put yourself side by side from this person who you claim is less than who you are, you look just like that person. They look at you the same way. They don't separate. You think they think that this black person, they categorize black people? We all black. We all black. You think you were some kind of different category? It's another form of not accepting who we are at this moment. I was pulling up to get some gas. And there was a little boy, he was riding his bike, and it's common, something that people do, they hang out in certain areas trying to, you know, get money. They'll try and do odd jobs, or they just ask, you know. But, you know, this kid was just asking everybody, you know, can I have $1? Can I have $2? And so usually, I don't care what the situation is, you know, if they need $1, $2, I give it, you know. If I have some change, I give it. I don't question what they need it for. And this little boy asked this guy going into the store, you know, you have $1, you don't have $1. This guy said, look at the clothes you got on. And he was naming all the labels this kid had on. I didn't even notice that this kid had these clothes on. He was like, look, you got all these clothes on. You asking me for some money? And you got all these, you know, whatever labels he had on. You got these clothes on. He's like, we all struggling out here. You better go on. You know, he talking to this kid like, don't be asking me for nothing. You know, we all struggling out here. You know, so I'm just thinking in my head, like, you know, whatever this kid wanted $1, $2 for, It's not about trying to figure out if he need $1 because he want to go. He just want to spend it and get some candy or something to drink or whatever he needed that money for. Why not just give it to him? This guy had his fancy car, his fancy jewelry. He was in a position to give this kid something, but he felt like he was on some different level. You got these clothes on, your parents can afford, so I'm not giving you nothing. Why is our mindset like that? Why is it that we feel like we struggle so hard, so now we can't help those, whether they're struggling or not? We really need to change our mindset. Just because someone looks, I don't care if the person next to me has on gold from head to toe. If they ask me for $1, I'm going to give them $1. I'm going to give them, if I have it to give, I'm going to give it. I don't care what position I'm in. So I think we need to change our mindset on that level also. Even if you talk in a certain way, the kid two houses down was considered proper, and then the other child speaks in a different way. Speaks in a way that they feel like this person is uneducated, and then they're judged, and then it's like that person feels like they're better than the other person. They separate everyone. They say the upper, middle, and lower class. And I had a conversation with someone, and she told me that she was upper middle class. I'm thinking in my mind, like, what makes her this class? So all these, how they separate us, and they put us against each other. That your value is about the amount of material things that you have, and the value of who you are is based on the amount of material things that you have. And then psychologically, I'm pretty sure that affects you. So now you're thinking that, okay, because I don't have the amount of things that this person has, then I guess I don't really count. These people who they feel like they try and separate themselves from those who they feel like are ghetto. They talk in a different way. They stand in a different way. They try and show like, this is who I am and I'm different than you, and you can't speak on my level. I'm using these terms. And I'm pretty sure it's a form of, not only to separate themselves from those who they feel are lower than them, prior to also, intimidate the person that they're speaking with, to show that they're, that they're speaking to someone that's lower than them. And your skin is the same color as my skin. You're looked at the same way that I'm looked at. They see two black people because we're viewed the same way. And then when you're harassed just like I'm harassed, you can't believe it. What is going on? You've done everything you're supposed to do to be accepted, and here you are. The reality that you're looked at the same way as I'm looked at. Like I said, we all have our struggles, and of course the state that they put us in has caused a lot of our people to struggle in ways that we shouldn't be struggling, and it definitely takes a toll on someone. So I'm not saying that our people aren't going through these things. It's real, right? And when I see this, when I see our people, when I interact with someone and I notice that they have a lot of anger within them, or it clearly looks like they're having some kind of struggles where they're not able to even maintain their physical appearance in a way where they probably even don't feel comfortable with, or they're even talking in a way that's not coherent. When I look at someone like this, I look at the position, the condition that we all were put in. I look at it that way. I'm not looking at that person as an individual, because there's a story behind that. And I think those who have decided that they're not in the ghetto, they're looking down on these people like, we've been given this opportunity. They need to get their act together. We all have the same rights. We all can go to school. We all can have the same jobs. I made it. So they have these thoughts in their mind, and so with these thoughts, they're treating this person in some kind of way. They're talking to this person in a way where, that's just, I feel like that's not right. We need to start looking at each other as a nation. And we don't do that. We look at each other as individuals because this is how the system was set up. It was set up for us to every man for themselves, a common saying, you know. We're told everyone must fend for themselves, and they made it very difficult for us. So sometimes it's hard even to think on that level to help someone that needs a little help because we are struggling ourselves. Whenever you see Martin Luther King, he was usually giving some kind of speech or he's marching with everyone, but they didn't really show him interacting with the people. They needed to show him in a certain kind of light. I think it was because of their benefit. They used him in a way for their benefit, and they show him in a light where they show these speeches, and it's like because of these speeches and because of these marches, now we've made it. We have rights. We're equal with them, and I think they use this so that we can stay asleep.
Thank you.
There's only a handful of black leaders that they're willing to show, that they're willing to teach our people about. You got Martin Luther King, you got Malcolm X, you got Harriet Tubman, you got just a small, you got Rosa Parks, you got just a handful of people that they feel is okay for us to know about. What about the people who were against the system? I mean, in a way where they really fought. You have the Black Panthers, you have the political prisoners, you have so many people that were against the system, against our people being lynched, our people being killed. They were against that. And so they were using the same force that was used against us. What about those people? We appreciate. I just want us to understand where I'm coming from, what I'm talking about, all the great things he did. He did great things, and he has paved the way for us.
Other things.
But who is in control of what we watch on TV? Who is in control of the things that are written and the way that they write about our people? You know, who is in control of that? Because that has an effect on us. Because if you were to ask me, and I'm sure if you were to ask any child right now, if you were to ask them who Martin Luther King was, the image that they want us to see and our children to believe as they're growing up, and this is what they teach our children when they're in school, they want us as black people to believe that what it's about is to accept that what happened with slavery. Let that be the past. Yes, we were treated wrong, but now because you had a few black people stand up and say like, let's live together, let's forget about the past, let us all live in peace. We're all one, and this is what they want us black people